Thanks for watching ERi-TV, dear viewers. Welcome to our news broadcast. Here are the headlines. Participation of women in national affairs in Gashbarka. Efforts to control malaria prevalence in Maimene. U.S.-South Korea kick off biggest military drills in years. Floods, landslides kill dozens of as monsoon rain slashed northern and eastern India. In our domestic news, participation of women in national affairs has been encouraging. A 6-month activity assessment report by the National Union of Eritrean Women branch in the Gashbarka region disclosed. Ms. Johannes, head of the union branch, said that women in general and members of the union in particular have been conducting strong participation in encouraging members of the Eritrean Defense Force in their area as well as in popular campaigns. Ms. Hidega added that the union has been exerting strong efforts through prioritizing organizational capacity of women at all levels, with positive results. Speaking at the occasion, Mr. Atisfa Mikhail, president of the National Union of Eritrean Women, said that the strong participation of women inside the country and abroad in national affairs has been the result of the efforts exerted to strengthen organizational capacity of women, indicating that the contribution of Eritrean women inside the country and abroad in national affairs is adding impetus to the implementation of national development drives. Ambassador Muhammad Ali Hurui, governor of the Gashbarka region, expressed readiness of the regional administration to stand alongside their endeavors. The participants on their part conducted extensive discussion on the timely issues of women and adopted various recommendations. Nurse Mulugeta Johannes, head of the Maimene Health Station, reported that sustainable awareness-raising activities as well as environmental sanitation programs are being conducted in Maimene in efforts to control the prevalence of malaria. Nurse Mulugeta noted that the environmental sanitation activities included clearing mosquito breeding areas as well as spraying pesticides. Nurse Mulugeta also called on the public to conduct sustainable environmental sanitation activities as well as to properly use impregnated bed nets and follow the advice being provided by the health practitioners. Noting that as a result of the integrated efforts on the part of the public and health professionals, the prevalence of malaria has significantly reduced, Nurse Mulugeta called on the public to reinforce participation in the efforts to permanently eliminate malaria from Maimene. Mr. Kubram Fisaye, head of social service in the subzone, on his part, commended the efforts of the health facilities in the subzone in organizing environmental sanitation activities. Coordinators of the Student Summer Work Program in Af'abit subzone reported that praiseworthy soil and water conservation activities have been carried out at the program, in which over 400 students, including 170 girls, took part from 8 centers. In Af'abit town, only 56,000 meters of terraces and 5,886 meters of soil terraces, as well as 1,144 metric cubes of water diversion canals have been constructed, and in Kilamit, 6,280 meters of terraces and 330 meters of water diversion canals have been constructed. Mr. Rashid Mohammed Osman, head of the Ministry of Education branch in the Northern Red Sea region, on his part commended the students for demonstrating strong participation in the program. The participants of the program expressed readiness to play due part in the successful implementation of development programs with the experience they have gained. Announcement from the Ministry of Health. 3 patients who have been receiving medical treatment in hospitals in the central region have recovered fully and have been discharged from the facility. The total number of recovered patients has accordingly increased to 10,041, while the number of deaths stands at 103. The total number of confirmed cases in the country to date stands at 10,149. Ministry of Health, Asmara, 22 August 2022. That was our domestic news. Please stay tuned for the international right after the short break. South Korea and the United States have launched their largest joint military drills in years, officials said, as the allies seek to tighten readiness over North Korea's potential weapons tests. The annual summertime exercise in Korea, renamed Olchi Freedom Shield, began on Monday and are scheduled to end on September 1. South Korea separately launched the 4-day Olchi civil defense drills today, designed to boost government readiness for the first time since the coronavirus pandemic emerged. The military and civil exercises are aimed at improving the country's preparedness to match the changing patterns of war, with evolving cyber threats against key facilities such as chip factories and supply chains. The drills were the largest since 2017 after being scaled back during COVID-19 and prior to that to create space and diplomacy with North Korea. While Washington and Seoul describe their exercises as defensive, Pyongyang portrays them as invasion rehearsals that justify its nuclear weapons and missiles development. Floods and landslides triggered by intense monsoon rains killed at least 50 people in northern and eastern India over the last 3 days, officials said on Sunday. The rains overwhelmed hundreds of villagers, sweeping away houses and leaving residents stranded as rescue crews have been racing to evacuate survivors. Earlier this month, the Federal Weather Office had predicted that India was likely to receive an average amount of rain in August and September, pointing to overall good crop yields in Asia's third biggest economy that relies on farming to boost growth and generate jobs. Farming contributes around 15% to India's $2.7 trillion economy, while sustaining more than half the population of 1.3 billion. Heavy showers, followed by landslides and flooding in the Himalayan state of Himachal Pradesh over the past 3 days, killed at least 36 people, a state government official told Reuters. Floods have affected nearly 800,000 people and displaced thousands from their homes in Odisha, with rains disrupting electricity and water supply and damaging road infrastructure to state. And they have evacuated 120,000 people so far from affected areas. Now a recap of tonight's headlines. Participation of women in national affairs in Kashparka. Efforts to control malaria prevalence in Maimene. U.S.-South Korea kick off biggest military drills in years. Floods, landslides kill dozen as monsoon rains launch northern and eastern India. And that was our news for tonight, dear viewers. It is good night from us.